right now on UCB Innovation Inc.
I just want to say that I've really enjoyed working with all of you.
She thinks the company is going under because there are no snacks.
I think you would do well with a character who is mostly putting on music and changing their clothes.
That is what they seem to like best.
Please tell me you have a password on that phone.
Yeah, it's 1111.
You just told me your password.
Damn it!
My dog is sleepy all the time. Is that news?
It's because I'm a naturally sour person.
Can you tell us right now if UCB Innovation Inc. will be seeking a second season?
Good morning.
Ah, good morning. Coffee?
Oh, no thanks. I'm just gonna get a snack. Wait. Oh my God. There's no snacks.
Yeah, there's always snacks.
Oh my God. Do you know what this means? This is a sign. The proverbial canary in the corporate coal mine, we're going down.
What?
Startups like this close without warning. I mean, we're done.
Come on, you're being ridiculous.
Tasha, think about it, okay? Why do companies provide free snacks to their employees?
Morale?
No, control. They don't want us going off to the store every 40 minutes when our blood sugar gets low. They want to bring the store to us, have a nice spread, so that we stay close to our desks.
It is free.
Exactly. And then before long, we're all programmed into thinking there will always be a no-cost sweet treat here, as long as
Do you want me to finish that sentence?
we're in the office. As soon as the snacks are liberated, the people will go. So if you think about it, the only reason there are no snacks here is because they don't care if we're here anymore.
Come on.
Look, if we're not in the office, we're not being productive. If we're not being productive, we're not making them any money.
I don't think this conversation is very productive.
Exactly. See, if I had snacks, I'd already be working at my desk. I'm telling you, these capitalists, they don't make mistakes. Oh my God, there's no soda. This is worse than I thought.
Maybe they're just trying to make us healthier.
Do you know nothing about business? We'll be closed by lunch.
Oh, without the free sodas, maybe it's a blessing.
Yeah, very funny. God, this might be the last day we work in this office. I mean, this innovation I just released could be the last innovation by UCB Innovation Inc.
A real comedian performs for real people. Then a fake moderator leads a real focus group while they watch.
If your comedy act doesn't take a traditional format, you might be an alternative comedian. But seriously, what's the deal with alternative comedy? That's the important question that we're asking in today's focus group.
Hi.
Hello. To help us find the answer, we've invited popular alternative comedian Sarah Grace Wellborn. Sarah Grace Wellborn, welcome.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Very excited to have you.
I'm Sarah Grace Wellborn. I'm a comedian and I'm going to be doing characters today. So I'm going to do 4 characters for them. I've done all these characters before. I actually did 3 of them last night and they went really well. I'm not trying any new material or anything. I feel like these characters usually go over pretty well, so I feel like we're all going to have a fun time. I'm feeling good.
What do you find in your performance that people are drawn to most of the time?
I'm very high energy and I think people like that. I'm very wacky. The 4 characters I'm doing are all really different, so I think it's like fun for people to see a range.
It's not often that a comic gets to receive and hear feedback from the audience. So what are you looking for in terms of feedback?
If these are people who don't see much comedy, that's interesting because I feel like most of you perform for people who are like, I'm coming to a comedy show.
Sure.
Just excited to hear what like the everyday man thinks is the best in what I do.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. We'll get the session started.
Great.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome. My name is Nathan Russell. I apologize for starting late.
No worries.
However, I did start the last session early, so as a statistician, I will say that I am running on time. That, of course, was a joke. The last joke you'll hear from me today, but not the last joke that you will hear, because today we are here to study alternative comedy. What is it? What does it mean?
I think not going with the status quo or making it seem like it's very linear.
Not status quo. Agreement on that?
Yeah. Maybe if someone's more interactive with their routine, maybe that could be perceived as alternative, or if someone uses props. When I hear the word alternative in front of anything, I just think designed to not be the mainstream version of whatever that word that comes after alternative is.
I'd say that probably falls in there.
Honestly, like, I don't really know what it means. Like, I feel like, okay, like all this stuff, like it feels like that's just comedy. Comedy is like, hey, let's look what's happening and like, you know, make fun of it.
Now that we had the definition, it was time to bring in Sarah Grace.
Welcome, Sarah Grace Wellborn.
I walked into the room having a good time, and they were all looking at me like they had to get to the bottom of something that maybe was about to be deeply disturbing.
My brother called me on the phone the other night and he was like, hey, have you heard about global warming? It's really bad and problematic. And I was like, hey, how do you know about that? And he said, well, I read it in the newspaper. And I said, oh, okay, so you're reading that? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so don't read it. Okay, so the other day, I was having dinner with my fat husband, and he was looking at the menu in the restaurant. He's like, babe, I want steak. But the steak costs $55. I was like, how do you know the steak costs $55, fatty? And he was like, it says it right here in the menu. And I was like, oh, what, the menu? So you're reading that? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so don't read it.
At the end of the first character, I feel like it went horribly. And then I go over to my phone just to turn on music for a transition. And suddenly I feel like they're all relaxed and smiling, like this is something really funny. Okay, that was the first character.
Hi everybody, my name is Harriet. Your HR manager brought me here to give a presentation on voter efficacy, which I think is really important. But I need to let you know before I begin that when I sit down in this chair, it's gonna cause me to climax. It's a medical condition that I have. I'm very sensitive down there. So I'm just asking honestly for everyone to behave with a little maturity. What? Not what you were expecting? Well, guess what? Not every woman screams and moans and scratches at the wall when she's climaxing. Life isn't the movies, people. An orgasm can literally look like anything. I like it, 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 I like it.
From the very first moment, that woman just didn't like me.
You may recognize me from the summer blockbuster film, Wonder Woman. Or you might recognize me from the local bank where I've been making fat deposits every week. Ow! I'm rich now, bitch, yes! Oh, I look for Prada bags and Gucci shoes. I be swiping my American Express every day, and that's the truth. Get it? Lasso of truth. I thought that's how you get that.
I feel like I must look like someone from her childhood who maybe hurt her in some way.
Hi, my name is Reb Stedman. My friends call me Reb Stedman because friends are people who know you and can pronounce your name. Well, I'm here today on claim to fame because I'm actually the person who invented gravy. Now I'm looking at y'all, you're like Doubting Thomases, thinking, now wait a minute here now. How do you know you were the first person to do that? And I'm like, huh? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, what? And you're like, tell us. And I'm like, eh. And you're like, eh. And I'm like, eh. And you're like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm like, bah. Well, listen. Every time I meet a stranger, I say, hey, stranger, tell me something. Did you invent gravy? They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, bah, bah. And I'm like, gravy. And they're like, bah, 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 bah. Well, in that example, the stranger turned out to be a chicken. But you know what? I fried his ass and I dipped it in some gravy. Woo!
Okay, that was all 4 of my characters. Thank you.
Thank you.
There weren't a ton of laughs during that set, but sometimes alternative comedy can make you laugh on the inside.
Okay, that was Sarah Grace Wellborn.
They didn't laugh
How would you describe her act?
I thought it was a little scattered.
Scattered.
But some of it was expected.
Scattered but expected.
The material was scattered, but I felt like some of the punchlines were expected.
I appreciated the effort she put in it, but I didn't find it funny.
Everyone's being so serious.
Negative for me. Literally, my first comment was like, ugh, I hate this character.
Right.
There wasn't really a story. I didn't really get any like universal truths from it that like that's really interesting me in art, and I just am like, okay.
It struck me as vaudevillian. Like her first character, like, but type, the whole, it was like vaudeville to me.
I love this woman. I love this third woman.
Do you have an association with that that's particularly positive or negative?
I find it boring.
Oh, she doesn't like vaudeville? Forget what I said.
Once we had a nice sample of negative feedback, it was time to move the conversation to the more positive aspects of the performance, which didn't really work.
Let's talk about what worked.
I think I needed more contrast with the characters. Like, here's this brassy lounge singer who was brassily like, I don't read. There was no like shades of like anything else kind of thing. So I didn't really get what was going on. Like from the beginning, like there was the music, there was the dancing, and then there was the joke, and I was just like, I don't get it.
Her music was hilarious.
It was. I found myself tapping into the whole thing.
That got funnier as well.
They love the part where I just go to my phone. This is insane. This is insane.
Colin, I noticed that both references when the word fat was used.
Don't make me out to be this. I just thought the way she said it was funny, that's all.
It just goes for the jugular. It makes no excuses. It's just you kind of land it. So like you can't not but react on some level. That's just for me at least.
I have nothing to add.
Oh my gosh, she's so mean.
Is there a character that you would pitch for Sarah Grace Wellborn to play?
If she were giving life philosophy, like that was unexpected, like a self-help guru that was like giving out random stuff.
Self-help guru. I'm gonna erase this. Did everyone agree that's a good character for her, or no?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun, actually.
Great. What are the qualities of the self-help character for her?
Maybe for her, it's like not practicing what you preach. So she's doling out this advice, but she definitely is not doing it herself.
I think there's also like this like monetary greed that like always seems like a subtext of like a self-help guru, where it's like, yeah, they're trying to help, but they're also trying to like get that $19.99 like book deal. You know?
Oh yeah, I can see it now. I'd like be up on the stage giving advice. I've literally never seen anyone do that before in a comedy context. This is really good advice.
And how do we distill that into a philosophy?
Like, every dream begins with Diane. Like, her name is Diane. Like, she can make it all happen.
That's good. That's good.
They love it. They're laughing so much harder right now than they ever laughed when I was in there. I'm so angry.
And how does she sound?
She seems kind of like nasal, brassy, and like loud.
Every dream begins with Diane.
Almost with an accent, because one of those characters had like an accent to it.
I agree, but there's like a matronly, like nurturing aspect of the voice too.
Every dream begins with Diane.
The self-help gurus also have this like weird musicality sometimes, which could be really fun to play with.
Musicality too. Every dream begins with Diane.
I guess I'm trying to figure out how that distills. So like, every dream begins with Diane, like that?
To be honest, I kind of thought of it as a play on like every kiss begins with K.
Every dream begins with Diane.
That's great. I like it.
Wow, get this woman on stage.
The very last thing that we'd like to ask you to do is to take a fresh piece of paper. We want you to give a rating, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And when you are done, grab a donut and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not the most positive session I've ever led, but sometimes alternative comedy can make you laugh like an hour later.
All right. Sarah, based on the reaction of that group, I think you would do well with a character who is mostly putting on music and changing their clothes.
Honestly, I think I would agree with you that is what they seem to like best.
I feel like 2 people laughed maybe 2 different times, totally in spite of themselves.
Perhaps instead of a lounge singer, they would like you to be a self-help guru.
Which is, not to be sarcastic, but really original idea.
How did you find their analysis of your work?
Super offensive. Was there anything helpful that they said? No.
They have given you an average score of 5.75.
Did anyone give above an 8?
The highest score was a 7.
Do you know who gave which score?
It was anonymous. From the comedian's side, Was there anything about this experience you found helpful?
That I'm not gonna perform in conference rooms anymore.
All right, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is Jeff Hiller. He has been on 30 Rock, Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson on Broadway. That's amazing.
Thanks, but you know what I have never done?
What?
Successfully cooked a meal.
Really? Never?
I just put a chicken breast on a George Foreman grill.
The saddest cooking instrument.
Sticks to the grill. And it's like maybe a little cold on the inside and just like charred on the
cold
outside.
on the inside, that means it's raw.
Ow, I don't know how to make it taste good.
I know you brought stuff.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm not an idiot.
They're all just like flavor elements.
Okay, see, I didn't really know that. I thought of flavor as general as the word food. You know what I mean? I guess that's what it is. I need help with flavor.
I can do that. Let's get to the kitchen. Okay, Jeff, so what you typically make is like a chicken with a vegetable on your George Foreman grill, and it has no flavor. But you want more flavor.
Desperately.
Great. We're gonna make chicken with vegetables 2 different ways. We're gonna do a Greek-style chicken.
Opa.
With a creamy olive tapenade sauce, and then a honey balsamic chicken with a roasted tomato butter.
Butter? I'm gonna impress the hell out of somebody.
There you go. We're gonna start with the first marinade.
Okay.
We're gonna do all of this lemon.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. And then we're gonna do a couple dashes of oregano.
Dashes?
Yeah.
Shake, shake, shake.
All right, we're gonna do a little olive oil.
Ooh.
It's so easy. Now we're gonna make our second marinade.
Oh my God, it's a dizzying marinade.
I know. It's like immersion therapy. We're dunking you into it, and then you'll be great at flavor.
It's also how I learn language.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some balsamic. We're doing a little olive oil, squirt of honey.
Oh, honey.
For both of these, ground black pepper.
Yeah.
If you wanna stir that one, I'll stir this one. We're just gonna go ahead and pour these on these thighs.
Oh, you put the marinade on the veggies too?
Yeah, why not? Great, so we have these in the skillet, so we'll keep an eye on that while we make the sausage.
What's the make of the sauce?
Ooh, whoops.
Are you want me to eat it? I gotta give them what they want.
We're gonna do a roasted tomato butter. We're gonna add a little more olive oil, some fresh garlic.
Okay.
And then I'll do a little salt. And do you wanna grab your pepper? And then I'm gonna add a bunch of fresh basil. This is already washed because of TV magic.
One time I just added a bunch of basil to a slow cooker and I didn't wash it. And it was like I was eating at the beach.
Now we're gonna blend this up.
This feels like one of those things where it's gonna just, like in a sitcom where it just all of a sudden explodes all over my face.
We have our first sauce, the tomato, basil, butter. You could add butter to this.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be vegan, and how would you have it over your chicken?
That's fair. That's a good point.
That was pretty cool.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. 30 cc's of your shirtless roommate.
I'm gonna take these chicken thighs off and put the zucchini in.
Look at those thighs.
They're beautiful.
Oh.
So we're gonna make a creamy olive tapenade.
Okay.
This is like flavor in a jar. We're gonna take some of this olive tapenade, a little more of the garlic, and then I'm gonna add a little lemon juice. Great, all right, you wanna grab a spoon and taste this?
Yes, I do. What does it need? Maybe some lemon?
You love lemon.
It's because I'm a naturally sour person.
We're gonna take these off. These are getting nice and crispy.
Are those burned?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
No, these are burnt. All right, ready to plate?
I'm ready to plate.
All right. On all the cooking shows, they tell you to clean as you go. It is a nice thought. Okay, perfect. I think we should take this and eat it somewhere other than my kitchen.
Sounds great. Are we inviting your roommate?
No. This is my rooftop.
This really takes the edge off of a burnt zucchini, okay?
Yes, I did make some lemon garlic green beans that are not burnt. So take a bite, tell me what you think.
Okay.
You like it?
Oh my God. You get that real nice sweetness, but also there is a tang in there too. Like I said, I always just have bare chicken.
Sure.
I'll eat this burnt zucchini, I don't care. That's how refined my palate is.
You know, New York can really overwhelm you and desensitize you. When I first moved to the city, I was so overwhelmed by all of the sights and the sounds that when I listened to a Dave Matthews studio album, after a while, I didn't feel anything. I was numb. And I started to have to find obscure albums just to feel something again. You know, you can hear the same song 1,000 times, but you hear one live recording and it's just slightly different, that you feel that excitement again. You feel alive.
I just want to say that I've really enjoyed working with all of you.
What are you talking about?
We're getting shut down.
She thinks the company is going under because there are no snacks.
And because I can't reach the HR bot.
Will you calm down?
Yeah, you're freaking me out.
You should be freaking out. Do you really think it's a coincidence that HR is just suddenly missing?
Yeah, it is a little weird. I wonder where a computer algorithm would go.
She did tell me in her performance review that she was looking for a new job.
HR is looking for a new job?
A computer is looking for a new job?
God, I'm gonna miss you guys so much. I'm gonna miss this office so much. I mean, this place is our house.
What you mean it's like our home?
Yeah, I mean, it's like our home. And so now we're gonna be what, homeless? I mean, what are we gonna do at night?
You mean day?
Yes, day. What will we do during the day? Because after the day, we leave. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to calm down. There's no home like work. There's no home like work. There's no home like work.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Guys, listen, I didn't have a backup plan, okay? I was banking on at least 3 years here to grow, thrive, and maybe climb the corporate ladder.
What country are you living in?
Yeah, this is late stage capitalism. A job is a year, tops.
But maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe we should expect more.
What, like Taco Tuesdays?
Yeah! Sure, Taco Tuesdays, but what about a contract that guarantees your income?
Or I wouldn't have to clock out to go to auditions.
Yeah!
Guys, we spend every waking minute in this building. Is it too much to ask for the people upstairs to offer a stable work environment for the people who come in day after day after... Okay, that ship has sailed.
In the comedy content business, some ideas are objectively stupid. In New York City, these ideas are handled by an elite squad of comedians so committed that they can will any bit into success. They are too stupid to fail.
And we're rolling in 3, 2, 1. We're here today talking about the news. Everyone's talking about it. What is it? What is it?
I guess current events.
News is what's going on in the world right now. How do you consume it? On my phone, read newspapers. Do you like watch it on a TV, read it? Okay. Do you go online? Do you talk about it with friends?
How often do you actually pick up a physical newspaper and look at it?
Oh, I haven't touched one in years. If it's called a different thing in another country, is it still news?
I guess so, but you might want to ask somebody in a different country.
Paris. Is there news in Paris? Yes. How come there's fake news about real things, but real news about fake things? And then there's fake news about true news. Is fake news always bad news?
And unfortunately, we have an entire cable news station that's very popular right now that is in the business of spreading false news.
ESPN.
No.
How does French news travel to America? In a plane? In a boat? In a... No, you're not misunderstanding my English. It's a confusing question.
My dog is sleepy all the time. Is that news?
Not news to me.
I write a lot of fan fiction.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's so much news about news about news. I click one article and then I have to click to another and it's about another and I keep clicking.
Well, first of all, I think it sounds like you're wasting a lot of time online and maybe you should be doing something more productive.
You say it enough times, it doesn't mean anything after a while, right? News. You know, it's such a weird sounding word, right? News. Honestly, that's the news about news. And I've learned a lot. News.
We're gonna live forever.
Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you. We just kind of want to get to know you and why you would want to work for the bad boys of cryptocurrency.
Well, I spent the last year working on cryptocurrency futures at CC Global Markets Inc. right before we started trading them publicly. But now that things are up and running there, I'm looking for new challenges, preferably at a smaller company where I could have more responsibility.
Dope.
666, fire.
Now, I have a question for you before you go any further. How does your firm store their crypto? Markets are so volatile, so I want to have an idea of how quickly you can turn around an asset as the market shifts.
Where do we store our crypto?
Like physically?
Yes, physically. Like, do you have a paper wallet or?
Oh no, I have a leather wallet.
What?
Nothing.
Or do you store them on a Trezor or a Nano Ledger Blue or?
We keep them on exchanges.
What?
Yeah, you know, like Bittrex, Yobit, Binance, etc., etc.
You can't be serious.
Serious to satellite radio.
Yeah, it's our favorite way to listen to the hits.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you have stored on exchanges?
Like a cool mil.
Also like a hot mil.
Yeah, so like 2 mil.
You have $2 million worth of cryptocurrency stored on exchanges?
Yeah, we like to diversify our funds, you know.
You know, diversify our mills.
Yeah, we like to diversify our millions, you know, both of them.
I cannot stress enough how dangerous it is to store that much crypto on an exchange. Just a couple months ago, $500 million in NEM were stolen off of CoinCheck.
All right, relax, okay? Most of it's in a hot wallet.
Okay, good.
It's on our Coinbase app on my phone. It's also in a folder that says these are where the Bitcoins are.
Please tell me that you have two-step verification set up.
No, too many steps.
Okay. At the very least, please tell me you have a password on that phone.
Oh yeah, I got a password.
Good.
Yeah, it's 1111.
You just told me your password.
Oh yeah, we should probably change that.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
We should probably take down the flyers around the office that gives everyone the password to the app too.
All right, I changed it to a totally different one. It's now 2222.
Did it again.
Damn it. Well, thanks so much for coming in.
Freeze, FBI!
What is this about?
You're both under arrest for tax evasion.
For what?
You neglected to report and pay your taxes on your capital gains.
Gains? Are we talking gains in the gym? Because I keep track of all that with my fitness tracker.
No, gains from the sale of cryptocurrencies.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, we definitely did that, for sure.
Cough,
What?
No,
come on. There's gotta be like some other thing to get around this.
Hey, do you still want the job?
No.
Cool. Is it because we're being arrested?
Yes?
Keisha, get our lawyers on the phone.
I don't work for you.
Right. Anyway, I forgot about that. It was nice meeting you. Leave a card.
If I could have a dinner with any three people, I would have dinner with Dave, Carter Beauford, and Boyd Tinsley. And we wouldn't have dinner, we'd jam. I guess I'd be on bass. And if there were any horns, I guess I'd do the horns too, because I don't think those guys can, right? They do their instruments, I do mine. If there's piano parts, I guess I would also, I can tickle the ivories a little bit, play those piano parts. We'd definitely do What Would You Say, because it's my favorite song. And I guess I would do John Popper's harmonica part. I wish I could have dinner with more than 3 of these guys, but if it's just those 3, then yeah, hands down, those would be my 3.
An emergency meeting called at the end of the day? Something's definitely up.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree with Molly. I think we're fucked.
Where is Molly?
Oh, you didn't see? She got sent down to the 8th floor for another meeting.
Wait, there's 2 emergency meetings?
Yeah?
Okay, if they were trying to fire everyone, they would only need 1 meeting. 2 different meetings means 2 different fates.
Oh, God.
Now the question is, what meeting is this?
Okay, we're in the nice conference room, right? So maybe it's the good meeting.
But we are on the ground floor, meaning a faster exit for disgruntled ex-employees.
Oh, this is the bad meeting.
It's not so much about where we are. It's about what other employees are here with us, right? Look, there's Suzanne. She's the head of branding. They wouldn't get rid of a bigwig like her.
That's exactly who they get rid of when they're trying to cut costs. You gotta chop down some big limbs to keep the tree from falling.
Isn't the point of chopping down a tree so that the tree falls?
You get what I mean.
The meeting neighbor's here. Oh, no. I've never learned her name because she keeps falling asleep in meetings.
She's toast. This is a bad meeting.
Okay, not necessarily. She's the CFO's cousin. How do you think she gets away with being so lazy? They would never fire her.
Which meeting is this?
Oh my God. The angel investor's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of UCB Innovation Inc. The president will now answer your questions.
Donna? Mr. President, can you tell us right now if you will be seeking a second season?
I'm sorry. Hear you. I was using my pods. Can you repeat that?
Mr. President, the funding for season 1 is complete. Can you tell us right now if UCB Innovation Inc. will be seeking a second season?
Watch this.